Greetings, COM 3340, Communication and Leadership. I want you all to take a moment and acknowledge yourselves that you have made it through the halfway mark of communication and leadership. You've completed your short paper number 1, your midterm exam, and 2 journal prompts. Go ahead, acknowledge, pat yourself on the back. So we are moving forward this week, and I wanted to take a moment and actually look at the weekly course module with you. So if you'll follow along on your screen, we're going to look at this week's module, week 10. And so this week we actually have quite a bit going on. We're looking at servant leadership. And servant leadership is actually one of my very favorite chapters to explore because I feel that in many ways we can look at servant leaders through multiple lenses. I began reviewing many of your digital storyboard drafts, and it also seems that many of you all have decided to concentrate your efforts on servant leadership. So make sure you take a moment to review the stories, especially the one on Southwest, and you look at the chapter PowerPoints. Also want to make some hints about the practice quiz. One way, if you weren't exactly excited about your midterm exam score, go back and check that practice quiz and make sure that you're completing them on a weekly basis. The great thing about the practice quiz is that I don't know if you've completed them, I don't know if you haven't completed them, and I don't know what your score is. So that is solely a tool for you to use. If you encounter an issue with the practice quiz, unfortunately, I can't do anything about it. We would have to contact Blackboard because the way I have the practice quiz set up is so that it is hidden from my view on your end. The next thing that you all have coming up this week is your journal prompt. And so I wanted to talk about, oh, it's an error, okay. So let's talk about this journal prompt there, Dr. Murray. So I'll read it from here. It's probably an error on my end because I'm not an enrolled student, but I want you all to look at a contemporary leader that you consider to be a servant leader. And so many of you all are actually already doing this in your digital storyboard. So I want you to really take time to think about this. How does this leader uses their talk to serve others? How does this leader show empathy when they're communicating with other people? How do they show concern and well-being? And I want you to really take your time as you're completing this journal prompt to answer all the questions. One way to improve your journal prompt scores is to make sure that you're using the text to support your answers, and also consider using resources outside of our current textbook to support your answers. Don't forget that your journal prompt should be anywhere between 2 and 3 pages of information, including your cover page, your abstract, and your reference page. The next thing, or the main reason outside of me wanting to make sure that you all took a moment to acknowledge yourself, was to talk about the leadership bonus opportunity. So I'm offering you all an opportunity for bonus points in this class. I highly suggest that you take advantage of it. Some of you all have maybe missed a journal prompt, or you didn't do as well as you would have liked on your short paper or your midterm exam. And so I want you guys to really take an opportunity. This is 15 points. But in order to get the 15 points, you must make sure that you follow through. So the case study title is worth 2 points, and it can't just say case study title. It has to have at least your objectives to the case study. So at the end of this case study, what will the readers actually learn? It needs to be a detailed story. And when I say detailed story, one paragraph's not going to quite cut it, especially for something that's worth 5 points. And then last but not least, some reflection questions. So essentially, you will be creating a short story that maybe your peers in next semester's communication and leadership course will actually have an opportunity to read. So consider that. I hope you guys are having a great week. And if you need anything, please feel free to send me an email, and I will be in touch with you all very soon. Have a good day.